Welcome and good evening. I'm your host Mr. Ramsay, and tonight we will be listening to 32 sentence horror stories from Reddit and from you guys in the comments, and some that have been submitted to my email. I recently ran a poll on the community tab and this is what you guys wanted, so without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Did you know that if a service dog comes to you, it means the owner is in trouble? Finally, a new victim I think, as I followed the dog and whipped out my combat knife. Number 2. Are you afraid of the dark? That was the last thing I heard before the light bulb shattered behind me. Number 3. She stared at the positive pregnancy test with trembling hands, not knowing whether she felt more scared or confused. All of the men on Earth had abruptly vanished into thin air 2 years ago. 4. Yesterday I showed my 5-year-old Harry Potter for the first time. Today I found the broom missing and the living room window of our 10th story apartment wide open. 5. I never forgot the words my captor told me. Paying for haunted house actors is expensive. 6. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it's a lot more unsettling. 7. I was so devastated when I came home and found my wife in bed with another man that I left without saying a word. It wasn't until the day after when I finally returned that I noticed the lock on the back door was broken. 8. After a hard day working, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and my stillborn child, or knowing someone broke into my apartment to place them there. 9. My daughter's smiling face greeted me from my driveway as I returned home from a hard day. Where is the rest of her? 10. Yesterday I wrote the number 69 on my wrist as a joke. Today it's 68, and now it's not washing off. 11. After being satisfied that I learned as much information as I could on every topic under the sun, I unfroze time after many years. Guilt ripped into me the moment the first person I encountered sobbed that they were conscious the whole time. 12. After her best friend Julia committed suicide, my daughter Sarah started a charity in her honour to combat cyberbullying. While it took a lot of work to finally push Julia over the edge, my husband and I are just so happy that Sarah can add this activity to her college applications. 13. I didn't understand his sexual attraction to me. I tried to tell his wife, but it's not like she could understand my barking. 14. My dad told me that his flashlight could kill any monster. When I told him about what Uncle Jack had been doing to my sister, he made sure to demonstrate. 15. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. 16. As I felt the knife run down my skin, I felt oddly happy. Well, it wasn't my skin yet. 17. I've been chained here for a week, suffering under the scorching sun with no food or water, and I'm beginning to fear for the worst. Maybe I'm not such a good boy after all. 18. The note was addressed to me. All it said was, "Call the police, sorry for the mess." 19. My cheating girlfriend was just tragically killed recently. If I can't have her, no one else can. 20. Do you know about that hand gesture that kidnapped people can use to signal for help, which became famous through TikTok? Well, unfortunately, he did as well, so he tied up my arms. 21. I think experience is the best way to learn, she said in a lesson on fire safety. 22. When I was little, I always wondered if my pupil was a hole in my eye. My sister offered to stick a toothpick in it to test my theory. 23. I walked out of the classroom while my students were taking a test on human anatomy. When I opened the door, I saw them slicing the skin off of John. 24. I arrived home to find a suicide note on the counter. As I heard my lock click behind me, I noticed it was signed in my name. 25. I heard my daughter say, "Dad, look, Mummy is back with the groceries." I was shocked to see that she somehow got out of the lake. 26. My friends keep ignoring me like I'm not even here. They only pay attention when I touch their stupid board. 27. I'm always surprised how many women genuinely enjoy being choked. I don't mind as long as I get to finish before they start getting cold. 28. Exhausted after my graveyard shift, I pulled onto my street and waved back at my neighbour as he jogged by. As I got out of the car and saw what was following him, I realised he hadn't been waving but flagging me down. 29. After her lobotomy, my wife was quieter but happy. She is living proof that you can learn any medical procedure by watching a YouTube tutorial. 30. I was horrified to walk in on my wife on top of another man. I pulled the blanket off of them in a rage but froze when I noticed the maggots writhing all over his body. I want to thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this 9th episode of 2 Sentence Horror Stories, maybe you can tap that like button, and since our next episode of this will be number 10, I want to try and do something a bit bigger, so remember to leave your 2-sentence story down below for a chance to be included. And if you're new, please be sure to check out the playlist on screen now for older episodes and expect a new video out next week. Thank you.